Dr. Banner, now might be a really good time for you to get angry.
That's my secret, Cap. I'm always angry.
Hello, true believers. Welcome to the Heroes for Hire Comic Club channel. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, beat it like it owes you money. And but this is another episode of Bad Cinema today, where we're my friend Random Reads, Kevin.
Hey, everybody.
And we're going to do Invasion USA. We're reviewing Invasion USA. Kevin, I know you probably haven't watched it recently, but I assume you've seen this movie before.
It's been a while, but
right.
I vaguely remember it. I did watch it because part of it was filmed on I-75 and outside of Atlanta, and they had to shut the interstate down. I remember that being on the news.
Okay, so that car chase scene, I guess they had to, they filmed
Yep.
there on I-75. That's cool.
Of course, I-75 looks
let me find the trailer here. I'm trying to get this link shared. Yeah.
Think back then it was
acting kind of creepy today. Give me a minute. We'll open the trailer up. Oh, it's about 6 both ways. I've been on it. I don't really like being on that road, to be honest with you.
No, not anywhere near Atlanta.
All right. Hey, Kevin, I'm going to let you play the trailer because, you know, on a laptop, we're on Wi-Fi. It's all fun. We say hello to the chat. We got Bobby De La Ghetto said hello earlier. How you doing, Bobby? It's good to see you always, man.
Hey, Bobby.
While we're bringing up the trailer, I'll read you about it. Invasion USA was filmed in 1985, produced by Canon Films. And if you know anything about bad cinema, Canon Films is like our mecca. Starring Chuck Norris. It was directed by Joseph Zito. Involves Chuck Norris fights off a force of Soviet/Cuban-led guerrillas. Both Chuck Norris and his brother Aaron were involved in the writing. It was made in the greater Atlanta area of Georgia and at Fort Pearson, Florida. Miami landmarks such as the Dadeland Mall and Miracle Mile can also be seen in this film. The 1986 film Avenging Force was originally intended as a sequel until Chuck Norris turned it down. It was instead made as a standalone film starring Michael Dudikoff, who you may remember from American Ninja. So these guys, it's like a group of Cuban refugees on a sailboat for the United States. And they think it's the U.S. Coast Guard. These guys kill them, and they're like these terrorist guys. All right, they're getting kind of too far into this. I'll read you the cast. Chuck Norris plays CIA agent Matt Hunter. What a name. Richard Lynch is played by Mikhail Rostov. Melissa Prophet's in it. Alexander Zale, Alex Colon, Eddie Jones, John DeVries, James O'Sullivan, Billy Drago, Jamie Sanchez, and a bunch of other people you probably never heard of.
I remember Richard Lynch from he was the bad guy on the Love Boat.
Wasn't he also the hitman? Was he not the hitman in the Untouchables? Remember, he's got a real smarmy, like evil face, and he's like, your friend screamed like a Irish pig when I stuck him. Yeah, that's the same guy. Yeah, he's in it. He's got like a little cameo bit in it. Yeah. So let's without any further ado, here's the original trailer, I think, for the theatrical release of Invasion USA. I like how the kids are like making these girls, these teenagers are making out right in front of these kids playing baseball.
Yeah, right.
No one thought it could ever happen here.
Notice how oh no, it feels Christmas.
They are an army of international.
You know what they did right there? That's emotional effect right there. Show everybody celebrate Christmas and blow them up.
200 years. Their target, America. Their objective, control.
18 hours from now, America will be a different place.
Now, only one thing stands in their way.
It's time to die. Didn't work, huh? Now it will.
Now, Will.
They
Yeah,
wanted
well.
a war.
See you in hell.
He gave them one.
Send me a postcard.
Chuck Norris. Invasion USA.
I like how he's got the MAC-10s, and they're like, and he got the shoulder holsters on it. They're like got straps on it. They just hang down. He can pick them up, just fire them at will, you know. And the one thing though, that's not really a good gun to use in combat if you think about it, unless it's close quarter combat, because it's a cheap little spray gun.
Yeah.
It's used by gangbangers basically for drive-bys, and it's not very accurate. So you wouldn't want that. But I guess, but in the hands of Chuck Norris,
Right.
it's a different story, right? So
Right.
this film opens up with these refugees on a sailboat, like trying to get from Cuba, and they run into this Coast Guard, and they think, "Oh, we're saved." Well, it's the bad guys, and they're like, there's apparently the people smuggling the people into Miami were obviously also smoking cocaine in. So they go in there, kill all the people, get the cocaine out. So they're like, "Oh, they're going to fund their little mission." And then you got also that guy that plays the head terrorist guy that you saw with a gun to his head there, where he says it's time to die.
Yeah.
He was in a lot of sword and sorcery movies back in the 80s.
Right. Yep.
He's always like the evil sorcerer. He was in this one movie with David Carradine, and I believe David Carradine was drunk for 80% of that movie because he slurs every word. But you know, no. I mean, it's not like I haven't been drunk before places I probably shouldn't have been. So some family reunions and other things. Maybe too
Been
drunk.
there, done that.
May or may not. You know, never in church though, unless it was a sermon I'd already heard. I'm just kidding. That's an inside joke between me and Kevin. Anyway, unless you've seen that video about the guy talking about freebasing cocaine, but we've talked about getting drunk at family reunions and church and freebasing cocaine already. So we're already there. Anyway, so he goes to, I guess there's like these drug dealers, and it's got one of the worst scenes I've ever seen in a movie for me personally, because he's like goes to this guy, he's going to sell him the drugs for weapons or something. And I still don't get why he double crossed him. The bad guy, the terrorist guy, after he gets the weapons, he's got the cocaine out there. They've already made the trade for the goods. I don't know why he had to feel necessary to fucking kill these people. But anyway, so this chick's over there snorting a big old choker line of cocaine, and he just smacks her face right down with a metal. She got one of them metal like straws right up her nose, you know, and then to throw insult to injury, he throws her out the window.
Metal straw. Now I always use metal straws for.
Yeah, and then he takes the gun on the drug dealer guy and sticks it down his pants and shoots him in the dick. And then, like, well, the funniest part though is like what happens later. There's a black guy at the hotel desk in this little seedy hotel where the guy had his room. Runs over to see what happens. He sees all this cocaine laid out, and he just grabs all the cocaine and runs off with it before the cops get there.
Of course.
I thought that was funny. I was like, "Yep." He said, "Well, they're dead. Somebody might as well. The only thing the DA is going to tag it as evidence.
Yep.
And probably resell it themselves if you want to know the truth."
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to get hit for this video already. But anyway, so they're setting up this thing like they're going to and I don't think this would really work in real life. We're going to go around and terrorize people, and we'll take over. I don't know how they thought they were going to invade the USA and then like actually win.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the way they did it, I mean, because if this really happened in this scenario, there would be more than Chuck Norris. They would have sent in like the Ranger battalion,
Guard, the Army, the
Marine battalion. They would have brought them all in, and these guys would have been dead like
that.
It wouldn't have lasted long.
Even in
anyway, but anyway, back then, you know, we had movies like Red Dawn and the Day After, which scared the shit out of me as a kid. The one about the nuclear war, and you had Red Dawn, where the Soviets invade from Mexico, you know, and they go into New Mexico and they work with Cuba. So there was a big fear, the Cold War fear, like. But the truth is, if you know anything about our military, it's a ground invasion would not be the smartest thing to do if you were invading the country, because, well, especially if you invaded in a place like Texas where they're all got guns and there's like 15,000 military bases down there, that would not be a smart idea.
Right.
Same with California coast; they have all those naval bases there. The Navy SEALs train out there. That would be a bad idea.
There's 2 bases in Atlanta.
And if you did the other coast, like Virginia Beach, there's a SEAL place down there too, in Newport News or something like that they call it.
Yeah.
So
We have a Navy base in Brunswick, Georgia. How'd they get it? By it.
And if they come to Kentucky, they're dead if they come in here to these mountains. It would be like the real Red Dawn.
Right.
I'm telling you right now, we got a bunch of country boys that got probably a better arsenal than the North Koreans do.
Yeah.
I know a couple of guys actually that have firearm licenses or dealer licenses. They got submachine guns. They have Tommy guns.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can have stuff that normal people can't have.
Yep.
Which I don't think that's a good idea, but you know, it's the way our gun laws are set up. I mean, I believe in Second Amendment, but sometimes I don't think we need bazookas to kill a deer. But
right,
you know, I don't really know about that. But anyway, but I guess it's good for that's for my home defense. I don't know. Anyway,
I got a tank in my front yard. That's my home defense.
So they go around and like blowing up buildings and stuff. Like they go into a neighborhood and just start firing missiles into like civilian neighborhoods. And so they call Chuck, right? Like we got to bring in Chuck, right? Chuck is the only guy that can stop this. And we got some clips. I've talked a lot about it, but we got some clips here I've had preloaded here. So we can show a couple of those if I can find them. This is where the bad guy is like talking about 18 hours from now, America is going to be like whatever it will be at their knees.
18 hours from now, America will be a different place.
Yeah, and they're loading them all in U-Haul vans and sending them out across the country. But what they didn't count on was a man named Chuck Norris, you know. So, like, and if I want to tell you about Chuck Norris, he's like a CIA super agent, former special forces. Because if you ever watch these movies, the guy's always ex-CIA, ex-special forces, deadly. Of course, you know, Chuck Norris probably could rip your head off with his bare hands. But he also, like, you open it up and he's like in the middle of the bayou wrestling alligators and shit, you know. He's just a badass. And he's like his buddies, like on his fan boat. He's like a Native American.
Tell me something, John. What are you going to do when the Social Security people find out you've been moonlighting?
He found out about my airboat business. Been doing it for 40 years.
It's probably because you haven't made a profit in the last 39.
And there's another part. He's like, you want to come over tonight? I got some frogs. We can barbecue. And Chuck's like, I'm tired of frogs. But anyway, the bad guy, he knows Chuck because Chuck let him go once. He almost killed him. Or you see that scene where he puts the gun to his head. And he's like, we got to kill him before we do anything. Now, I don't know how they found him. They went all the way in the Everglades. I don't know how they found his house in the middle of the Everglades. You know, of course, Chuck's living off the land, you know. Guess what he does. And, like, here's the part I'm talking about. Like, he sees him. And then he lets him go for some reason.
It's time to die.
Yeah, that's Richard Lynch.
Richard Lynch. Okay. Yeah. And I like this one right here. He's like, he tells this guy, you're beginning to irritate me.
You're beginning to irritate me.
I got to see that one more time.
You're beginning to irritate me.
He just front kicks him right to oblivion, right? He just.
You know, the neat thing about this movie, you know, it was pretty much a flop at the box office, but it ended up being one of the biggest video rentals of the 80s.
Yeah, it wasn't, you know, that's kind of what Canon was. Canon Films was a lot of straight to video stuff or stuff that maybe it was in the theaters for a little short time. And it's kind of a cult following because, of course, Chuck Norris is in it.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, though, those kicks that he has, they're pretty deadly. I mean, that's a front kick, but I wouldn't want to be kicked. Could you imagine being kicked by Chuck Norris in his prime with a pair of cowboy boots on right in the chest for real?
A roundhouse kick and take your head off.
Oh, and he was good at that. Like, he could beat you with his arms tied behind his back, probably, because his feet are probably even deadlier.
Yeah, he was a Taekwondo expert, and that's what Taekwondo is.
And he studied Jeet Kune Do with, you know, Bruce Lee. A lot of these guys they have interdisciplines. Like, they they don't just focus on one martial art. If they want to be better overall fighter, they train in all of it. That's why him and Bruce Lee and those guys like Benny the Jet Rodriguez or whatever his name was.
Yeah.
Benny the Jet, they'd all train together. And that, Benny the Jet was like a kickboxer. And Chuck was a competitive, like Chuck, wasn't he like a grand champion in karate?
Yeah. Taekwondo, that was his main focus for competition.
And he's a pretty cool dude. I think he's from Texas. I'm not sure, but
Walker Texas Rangers.
His son was an actor, and his brother Aaron Norris was in movies, but was also helped him write his movies. And see, what Canon would do was they would get people like Chuck Norris and Charles Bronson, who they knew were names like people would recognize, and they would sign them to a contract. And they say, you know what, you can do whatever you want, make the movie however you want. And of course, Charles Bronson went ahead and made Death Wish 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 to 100. And now we got to do Death Wish 3 and Death Wish 4 for this show one time.
Yeah.
Death Wish 5 is just insane, over the top bullshit. I don't know. But they all are. This is pretty over the top too. Like,
right.
Here's some more like Chuck just being Chuck.
If you live through this, tell Rostov it's time to die.
It's time to die.
I just like the way he says it. Like if he said that to me, I'd be like, I believe you.
I wonder how much of this he wrote.
I know it says him and Aaron Norris, his brother, wrote it. So I'd say probably a lot. I'd say, of course, he makes himself
seem like all his movies.
And sometimes if it was another actor that was doing this, and like they made him sound like he was this badass, I would say this is complete bullshit. But with Chuck Norris, I totally 100% believe it.
Right.
If Chuck Norris, okay, let's just one more time and say that.
If you live through this, tell Rostov it's time to die.
If he said it to me, I'd be like, I believe you.
Yep.
Time to die. And I mean, look at the background behind us. Like, you just tell his eyes. I wouldn't want to fuck with that guy. I'm just saying right now. We'll play another clip. I got a lot of short clips because this movie didn't really have a lot of memorable quotes. But
if you come back in here, I'm going to hit you with so many rights, you're going to beg for a left.
So he writes, you're going to beg for a left. I don't know why that reminds me of the, do you remember the old wrestler Harley Race?
No.
He had such a mean right hand. This is like a wrestler in the 70s and 80s. That he said, if I punched you with my right hand and you were still on your feet, I would go behind you and see who was holding you up. There's another one where he's like telling this guy you feel like talking. And I don't think the guy felt like talking to him, though.
Feel like talking?
Oh,
I didn't think so.
Well, apparently he didn't speak English.
Yeah, I don't think I think Chuck was through talking to him. And of course, the scene from the trailer. I love this scene with the time bomb.
Didn't work, huh? Now it will.
Now it will. And it boom, it blows up everywhere. Then he had another guy, like I think, throws a grenade at him. He throws it back and says, "Did you lose?" Or some kind of bomb. He says, "You can see it."
You lose this?
That was I-75, I imagine.
Yeah. Yeah, let's look at it again. Yeah.
You lose this?
That's back in the day on there. I remember going there with my stepdad, like driving to Atlanta.
Yeah.
And to a car show. There's also that same highway. Was it not used in Smoking the Bandit?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Smoking the Bandit, and they used Lakewood Fairgrounds where Lakewood Amphitheater's at. That's where the roller coaster was.
Oh, yeah.
That they dropped for the movie.
Okay. Well, I don't know. We got so like I said, this movie's like, I only had a few clips, but like they're all memorable clips, I guess. There was like more that happened, but like I don't know if we could find I wish we could find a behind the scenes video on this. But I don't know. See if you can find anything. But all I can say is like I'll say so here, okay. He also, of course, there has to be a female love interest, right? So there's a Snoopy reporter. There's always in these 80s movies, there's always some Snoopy female reporter getting in trouble, acts like she hates, and she acts like she hates Chuck Norris, like, you big jerk. Like, oh, you know you want him. You know you want him. It's Chuck Norris, okay? Don't give me that. She's always playing hard to get in these movies. And there's some crazy scenes. Like they go in a mall and they just start opening fire on people in the mall Christmas shopping. And then Chuck Norris drives his truck through the mall.
Through the mall, yeah.
Yeah, just starts shooting at people. Gets out, and then the guys try to run him over in an old Nissan piece of shit truck. And they grab this woman by her hair, and there just so happens to be a sidestep on the side of this truck so the stunt can happen. And it was a stunt woman. I guess it either that or a guy with a blonde wig on. And they're dragging her along by her hair, and he's driving with one hand. And then Chuck comes in with a Mustang with a reporter girl, and they try to get her. And it's just insane. Insane. I don't know how like somebody didn't die in some of these stunts that they did. But like I think Canon Films is probably one of the most irresponsible stunt coordinators I've ever seen, because I've seen some stuff where people just eat shit. I don't know how they didn't die. And like there's another one where the car is like it's going to blow up, and they have like a row of cars, and it's going to crash into it. It's actually that same scene. They try to throw a grenade, and Chuck bumps their car, and he drops the grenade right in the floorboard.
Yeah.
And then they crash into this big row of cars parked on the side of the road. And as soon as they hit it, the car goes like this and blows up. And I don't know how somebody didn't die. I guess there wasn't nobody in the car, but I don't know how somebody didn't die from the back blast of this explosion, because it looked like the pyro guy decided to use like triple the amount of explosives in it. But it was a fun explosion.
Think we can get away with 20 seconds of a clip?
Yeah.
All right. Here's one you mentioned earlier. And it's Billy Drago, who is the guy that was in the Untouchables that you mentioned. That wasn't.
Yeah, and he was in wasn't he in Briscoe County Jr. as well?
Yes.
Yep. He's got a very memorable face. Like you don't remember, you might not know his name, but he's got one of those faces like the guy that played the bad guy in the Crow movie.
Right.
Top dollar. It's a very familiar face.
Oh.
The pleasure is all mine.
Richard Lynch and Billy Drago. Oh, there you go.
Then he shoots the dick. I mean, what the hell? And then throws her out the window.
Wow.
You know, one thing about the 80s, they loved to show people getting shot in the dick. RoboCop shot dudes in the dick.
Right. That's too much.
That's just overkill. Like, okay,
it just slams that girl's head down on that straw. Why is she using it?
I got a question. Would she still be screaming, or would she be dead? Didn't let it go into her brain pan?
Yeah, you'd think that would pretty much instantly kill you. I would think. Maybe the cocaine kept her alive.
Yeah, I guess it can. I don't know.
Personally, I preferred McDonald's straws.
Yeah, if I was going to do that, it was a McDonald's straw or a dollar bill.
Yeah.
Or giving away too many secrets. They're going to go, these guys are a bunch of degenerates. Well, we are reformed degenerates, okay?
Right. It's been a long time.
But let's see if we can find out. I want to see what we find the budget for this, okay? All right, the budget for this was $12 million. The box office was $17.5 million, so they only profited like $5.5 million.
Which probably isn't a profit because they probably spent that on advertising.
That's
or
true.
Maybe not.
I would say this movie made more money from video rental sales.
Oh yeah, it did. I just looked that up.
And see, the thing is about these, a lot back in the day, you know, when we still had video rental stores, you could make movies like that. Like now it's like, you know how they make movies for streaming, it goes direct to streaming. They do that now, but back then the model was this, like, look, it doesn't have to be re-released in a lot of theaters. It doesn't have to be gross a lot at the box office, as long as we can get it out cheaply and put it on video and sell it to the video stores.
Yep.
And you know, it just trickles down. It's like a trickle down type thing, you know.
And this was, you know, the age of the videotapes.
Hey, Aaron. And you know what? It was a glorious time. You know, like before we had Netflix. And yeah, this movie is pretty nuts. Before we had Netflix, we had the video store. And I remember, like, on a Friday, we'd go down there and rent, like, they'd have, like, you know, you could rent, like, the old releases, like, $5 for $1 or something.
You'd have to rent the VCR because those things cost $1,000 or so.
Yeah, we have, like, 5 or, yeah. Well, by this time we had a VCR, but yeah. And you better hope it wasn't Betamax, because Betamax, yeah, loads of unnecessary over-the-top violence. That is the signature of a Chuck Norris film in the 80s. I mean, Chuck Norris was basically a human killing machine. I didn't count. Hey, Kevin, is there any way you could Google how many people that Chuck Norris actually killed in this movie?
In this movie?
What's your guess? Over under 100? I say 120.
Let's see.
Anyway, so like,
I'm sure somebody's done it because that's a big thing. Death counts for movies.
I know in Commando, Arnold had killed like 90 people in that movie. Or something. Wasn't it like that, Brian? My cousin over next to me, he killed like 100 people in that movie, I bet you.
Oh, it says it's estimated to have killed at least 30 people, including an extensive mall shootout.
Okay, that's not a bad. That's a solid number. I guess I was wrong, but I've seen some movies where, like, I guarantee you they killed at least 100 people.
Okay, it says list of deaths, Invasion USA. Actually, Mikhail Rostov, which is Richard Lynch, killed 51 people.
Damn.
So he killed more than Chuck Norris did. They actually have a list here of all the people that were killed.
So here, I guess when Chuck Norris was born, he drove his mom home from the hospital. I believe it. I believe it.
Total deaths in the movie, 184. Mikhail Rostov killed 54. Matt Hunter killed 29, which I guess is Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
Nico Kador killed 3, and John Eagle killed 1.
Oh, okay. Thanks for everybody showing up. Yeah, we'll play a couple more clips since people missed it, but it's like some, you know, stone cold, like Chuck Norris lines here.
It's time to die.
It's time.
If you live through this, tell Rostov. It's time to die.
Yeah, know that the movie was going to be rated X.
Oh, really?
And Canon cut out many deleted scenes involving more plot, more violent scenes, and backstory to many of the supporting and minor characters. They cut them out to reduce the runtime, have more action, and to get an R rating instead of an X rating, which I assume is due to the violence.
Okay, so here's something about the director of this movie. His name is Joseph Zito. Here is his directing credits. He directed Abduction from 1975, Blood Rage in 1979. In 1981, he directed a movie called The Prowler. In 1984, he directed Friday the 13th, The Final Chapter.
Wow.
Also in 84, he directed Missing in Action. So I bet Chuck worked with him before and was like, we'll work with him again.
Right.
Then after Missing in Action, he did Invasion USA, and then he was in Red Scorpion. He was an uncredited rewrite. Oh, on that one, and a director. He directed Delta Force One, The Lost Patrol. He directed a film called Power Play. That looks like it's about it. So I guess he was kind of more of a producer, but it seems like so he produced a couple of movies, and he was executive producer on one. He's still alive. He was born in 1946. He's 78 years old now.
This movie has a whopping 18% Rotten Tomatoes score.
Is that bad? I guess it's bad.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
That's why they call it bad cinema.
5.5
I mean,
10, though.
but I will say this about the movie: it's a fun movie. Hey, Barry, it's good to see you, man. Like I said,
Hey, very.
Yeah, I liked your comment. And maybe more Chuck Norris jokes. You know what I mean? Like Chuck Norris is what made the dinosaurs go extinct. You know.
Yep. Oh, there's a ton of them, and I can't think of one.
I like the one where he talks about this guy. He says, "I'm getting really irritated with you."
You're beginning to irritate me.
That would be a good one to play for like my clips. Like if somebody gets annoying, we'll just play that.
When Chuck Norris swims, he doesn't get wet. The water gets him.
You're beginning to irritate me.
You're beginning to irritate me. I might just keep that one. That's a keeper. All right. Yeah, he was wrestling an alligator. He was for real, like doing it too. Like there wasn't no like stunt double, and then like he's I like how he's riding around on his fan boat with no shirt on, you know. And then he's got a pet armadillo too.
When Chuck Norris turned 18, his parents moved out.
I don't doubt it.
When Chuck Norris left for college, he shook his dad's hand, looked him in the eye, and said, "You're the man of the house now."
Oh man, I love it. I love it.
Chuck Norris doesn't do push-ups; he does earth downs.
He actually bends the wheel of gravity to himself.
Yeah.
With sheer will, he just bends the force of gravity. Yeah, that's what I should have said. There's some other ones. Does he have like under his beard? There's another fist under his beard. Punch you in the face. I mean, I don't doubt that he was pretty tough, though. I mean, I guess he's in his 80s now, and I still wouldn't want to mess with that guy. I'll just be honest with you.
Oh, check it out. I did a search for Invasion USA, and we came up as the third hit.
Well, you know, the interesting thing is, in my research looking this movie up, there was another movie called Invasion USA made in the 50s. But it was a sci-fi movie about an alien invasion. Because the only reason I know this was because I was searching on the internet for clips, and I found a Mystery Science Theater episode where they were watching Invasion USA, and I thought they were watching the Chuck Norris movie. And then I started watching it. It was a black and white sci-fi movie from the 50s. So this was not the first movie called Invasion USA. And I guess we're going to talk now about, I think the next movie we're going to do, should we watch the trailer for it? Because it's pretty cool. I don't know if you've seen this one, Kevin. It was also filmed in the 80s. It was filmed in 1984. It's called Night of the Comet.
Oh, yeah. There, I got another little clip from the movie.
Okay, let's show we'll show that trailer later.
And then we'll watch the trailer. This is the mall.
Oh, this scene is insane.
All them guns. I don't want.
And they can't kill him.
It's the windshield or the windows or nothing.
You know what? Can you imagine having to clean this shit up after they did this scene? All right, we better cut it off. We're in trouble.
That's great.
Can you imagine like all that? It's like half the budget went to destroying this freaking shopping mall.
Yeah.
I mean, you got all these products. Can you imagine having to be the guys that had to clean that up after they shot that fucking scene? That would have been.
I wonder
a nightmare.
What mall that was, or if it was a mall or a set or something.
Yeah. I mean, also in pure Canon Films style, their MO, they have got a busload of children that they try to kill. Like the one thing about Canon Films you understand is kids are not safe. Look at all them kids in that neighborhood. They were just blasting bazookas. And these kids are like all over the place. It's crazy. So just because you're a kid doesn't mean you're safe in a Canon film. And if you don't know what about Canon was, basically Canon Films was a money laundering operation.
Really?
For these two Israeli guys, basically.
Huh.
Well, I mean, like it was a lot of cocaine.
Yeah.
A lot of it was like, I mean, I think they were like embezzling money or something, and they finally went broke. They're the ones that we have to thank for Superman 4: The Quest for Peace, if that tells you anything. Which will soon be on Bad Cinema very soon.
Yeah.
Trust me, because we got to do a couple superhero ones because we have a comic book channel. So, yeah, this okay. I guess we're going to go ahead and rate it. I'm going to give this one. I'm going to be kind of critical of this one. Sorry, I love Chuck, but I'm going to give it 3 wing wings.
3 wing wings. That sounds good.
All right, so you think that's about right? All right, this one's 3 wing wings. I do recommend it. That means we still recommend it because it's Chuck Norris.
It's fun.
Yeah, the Russians pretend to be cops. They pretend to be National Guard. Yeah, and Chuck just sees right through it, kills them without even knowing for sure if it's a cop or not. He's Chuck Norris. He's got like a 6th sense of these things. So
yeah, he knows the bad guys on site.
Yeah, and I guess we'll show the Night of the Comet. While we're looking that one up, I will remind you that tomorrow night at 8 p.m. another episode of Comic Conversations with Justin Birch Letters, and Justin actually works in the comic book industry. He's a letterer. He letters for books like Something's Killing the Children. I don't know if you've heard of that book, but it's pretty popular.
Oh yeah.
Thursday at 7 p.m. we have the Comic Lounge Hangout show. I'm really proud of that thumbnail, to be honest, to tell you the truth. And then on Thursday at noon we have Good Cinema, and we'll be doing Jaws. So I hope Kevin, you can join us for that one. It'll be me and Madam.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. The very first summer blockbuster led the way for everything. We still have summer blockbusters,
but that was the beginning of it. Before then, it was just like,
yeah,
I kind of miss the old 70s though, when you had the gritty films like Chinatown and even the irreverent films like MASH or Harold and Maude. I thought there were some great movies back then. And I think that like the one thing that happened with Jaws and Star Wars was it made the studios want to go for that summer blockbuster thing a little bit more.
Big movie, yeah.
Now that's not a bad thing, but after a while, I get kind of summer blockbuster burnout.
I know,
this is the trailer for Night of the Comet from 1984. Kind of a zombie movie. This is what we're doing next week.
Did you ever wonder what it would be like to be one of the last people on Earth?
We're talking Ghost Town!
Who would you see?
There's nobody. There's nobody.
What would you do?
Hey, I'm sorry if the end of the world makes me a little nervous.
Where would you go?
The stars are up!
Well, get ready to find out, because the comet is coming into your orbit.
The legal drinking age is now 10, but you will need ID. Let's be real.
It's the Night of the Comet.
What do you give me if I come back?
Texas?
Night of the Comet.
I'll be taking requests from all you teenage comet zombies.
The night the teenagers ruled the world.
Yeah!
Night of the Comet.
The burden of civilization is on us.
Fiction, isn't it?
That's a perfect candidate for bad cinema. I was like, you know what? I remember that movie, and I think I'm going to do that one next. So there you go. I don't know. We're probably going to get hit for that music though. But
I was thinking about that as it was playing.
But you know what? I don't care.
Yeah, it didn't hit us now, so we're good.
All they just give you warning. I'm not monetized yet, although I'm getting very close. I'm at 394 subscribers. I have a 400 subscriber giveaway, so we only got 3 people. But for the people that are watching later, we only got 3 watching now. All 3 of them probably already know about this giveaway. But it's quite a substantial giveaway. I'm pretty generous with some of these books. Probably, some people are like, "Oh, why are you giving all those away? Are you crazy?" Yeah, I'm a little bit crazy, but at least I don't know. My mom got me tested, but they said I wasn't crazy. But she kind of wishes she had sent me to that specialist in Louisville. But it's okay. It's okay. I think we're good. And I think 400 is right in the it's right in the view. Hey, check this one out, Aaron. We got Forbidden Planet. Look at that. Isn't that cool? I just want to show you that. I got this cool Nick Cardy one today. This is all from Jim. I got Jim sent me 3 9-pound boxes. Sandman Mr. Comics sent me 3 9-pound boxes of comics today. And I got the Transformers one, and we got I think that's a beautiful cover.
Yeah.
I like that. It's got a little corner ding, but I think it can be pressed out because it's not the corner is not. It's still sharp. It's just kind of bent.
Yeah.
So I think it could be pressed out if I really wanted to grade it one day. I don't know.
Forbidden Planet. That's a movie you could do for the good cinema.
Yeah, it was ahead of its time back in the day.
For sure.
We got the whole set.
And a lot of people don't know anything about the movie except Robbie the Robot.
Leslie Nielsen's in that movie.
I had forgot about that until you said it. I mean, he's so young in it, you don't.
Yep.
Yeah.
Does anybody remember this comic? There's a cartoon and a toy line. Yep.
I do not. I do remember the other one you had.
Robotics. Robotics.
Robotics. Yeah.
We got some more Angela. We got the Conan Adventure. The Adventure.
That's nice.
Got a lot of books today. I'm proud of it. Yeah, thanks, Aaron. Yeah, I thought we would do the bad cinema. It's kind of like the yin and the yang. We have bad cinema and good cinema. So,
yep.
But I guess we got it. We made it about 42 minutes. We'll play a couple more clips just to leave you with this.
If you come back in here, I'm going to hit you with so many rights, you're going to beg for a left.
I love that. And, of course,
Didn't work, huh? Yeah, it will.
And don't forget, it's time to die.
Yep. Also, don't forget, Kevin has his trivia show at 9:00 p.m. Eastern. Starts right after Council of Comics, and my friend Flat Earth Santa, his bragging rights game show will be on at 8 p.m. Eastern. And I am the last week's champ, so I am the returning champ for the week.
Returning champ.
So I'd like y'all to come out and help me, and be in the chat and vote for me because I got some cool stuff. I've already shared with Kevin a couple of what I'm going to do. I'm not going to show it here because I don't want any of my competitors.
Let it be a surprise for the bragging rights.
Yeah. And I need your votes so I can be a 2-time champion.
Right.
Now, it was my first time I won last week. I won on the back of a lot of Mark Spears books.
Autograph.
Oh, yeah. And don't forget, Aaron's claim sale is at 6 p.m. Eastern, I think, 3 p.m. Pacific. Did I get that right, Aaron? He's got $2 claims, and you can also turn in the bids, but free shipping. He's got free shipping. The very generous guy. It's hard to get free shipping. For me, I don't do it. Kevin don't do it. But unless it's a giveaway. But I admire him for doing it. I couldn't do it. I just can't afford to. But
yep.
Anytime, Aaron. You're my friend, brother.
Yeah, man.
And check out his album. It was really cool. It's like an 80s, like kind of sci-fi kind of soundtrack. It kind of reminded me of something from Blade Runner. I liked it. Kind of a lo-fi type thing. So
very atmospheric.
Yeah. I told him me and him are gonna collaborate on a hip hop record.
Now that would be interesting.
But I guess we'll sign off. Thanks, guys, for watching. I appreciate it. Well, we'll play one more clip. I can't get enough of this Chuck Norris.
You lose this?
Definitely have to do another Chuck Norris movie.
Definitely. I think we're going to do Breaker, or Good Guys Wear Black.
I was about to say Good Guys Wear Black. That's about cheesy as hell.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Aaron. But yeah, I liked it, man. I'm glad I was there to support you, bro. Anytime you need support or you want to do another album, maybe we could do a 9 Inch Nails style album. That would be cool. I would help you on that one for sure. We could just do it all. Jay said, Kevin, open Discord, got plant questions.
All right.
Or you can come back here. You can send him the link, Kevin, for this, and we'll just talk to him backstage.
Well, we can do that if you want.
Okay, we'll send you the link.
I'll send you the link through Discord, Jay.
Thanks for, like I said, thanks for stopping by. And until next time, true believers, Excelsior.
Come, son of Jarrell! Kneel before Zod! Snitchy boochies.